Hey beautiful people, my name is Conor.
My name is Brittany.
And today we are answering a question about please and thank yous for Ilya, who's now 13 months. Will we be teaching Ilya please and thank yous? Our membership site is growing and we want you to be a part of it.
We have over 100 videos, so many exercises, tons of ways for you to learn, grow, heal, and inspire with us.
Come on over and see what it's all about. And we did make a video kind of similar to this on manners, right? Or is our baby well behaved?
Oh yeah, that was good.
But that was 6-7 months ago. And I do think the please and thank yous specifically is worth talking about. Do you want to start us?
Yeah, I love this topic.
Me too.
The first thing that comes to mind is that teaching a child to say something doesn't necessarily teach them the emotion behind it or teach them let me start that over. What I want to encourage Ilya to do is to feel out their own natural innate love, compassion, desire to express themselves in the ways that I think are really innate to humans, that are loving and compassionate and connected, and to do that when they feel inspired to. And I don't believe that teaching them like now is an appropriate time to say such and such thing helps them tap into that natural compassion within themselves. I feel that the best way I can help teach them how to show up is by showing up as my fullest, most connected, compassionate, loving self, and watch them. Like, we naturally learn by observing. We teach by modeling. I don't think that I need to like tell them what to do for them to be able to feel into what they want to do their own way.
Yeah.
So that's I feel like I could have phrased that better, but I think I feel so much about this topic.
Yeah, I think you phrased that great.
Thank you so much.
That was great. I would so much rather that Ilya tap into their authentic emotions and express them authentically than try to encourage them to express themselves in a way that may feel more comfortable for other people. I would much rather other people feel a little uncomfortable or even think that Ilya is, I wouldn't say rude, but maybe just they're not used to the way that Ilya is showing up. Like maybe they would expect a please or a thank you, which I also don't think would come up, but I would rather that be the case than take away the possibility that Ilya might express themselves simply because they're supposed to, rather than what feels naturally in alignment for them. And there are times in life when it does really make sense to know what's going on, what the society and the culture sees as appropriate. Feels like a weird word, but I guess that's the best word. Yeah, maybe the customary way of approaching and showing up in life. But that doesn't really have to be taught, like customs are passed on through just being in the society. So, and then there are times, when it might be really helpful for them, and I think we talked about this in the other video, where it's just good for them to know, hey, this is what is typically expected of human beings in such and such scenario. And kind of leave it at that, because it just feels so important to me to encourage Ilya to be really, 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 really authentic with themselves and to develop their emotions on their own terms and to express those emotions in a natural way, because I think that is what I, as an adult, am trying to recreate for myself. And it is way harder after 30 plus years of thinking I had to do it a certain way in order for me to be okay or to be loved. Yeah. And I would rather just like, if it brings stuff up for other people, so be it. I would much rather encourage Ilya to tap into that authentic empathy and expression of that. I mean, I was going to say at an early age, but they already do it is the thing. And so really just, encouraging them to be themselves.
Yeah, I love that Ilya already is so, Ilya is so expressive. Humans unblocked are so expressive. And we are naturally loving and compassionate and awesome beings. And I love that when Ilya feels something, you can feel it from them. It's so much cooler. Ilya's not using many words yet. They're 13 months. And it's so cool that we can feel it based on their expression and the way they're moving their body and everything, their energy. And then we get to do things like, we'll just delight in their reaction, which we do, and be curious about it. But also, I think a much better question than like, can you say thank you or say thank you, is how are you feeling? Or how does that feel? Or did you like that? Or not even did you like it? Like, how did you feel about that? Yeah. Did that taste good? Like, I love these different things that based on their reaction, we get to be delight in it or ask another question if we're curious about it.
Man, I love that because I think that taps into a big piece for me. Like, are we curious about these little humans, or are we controlling and have a desire to control these little humans?
Yeah.
And I think that many of us just do the please and thank you thing because that's what we have been shown to do. And we think that's what we're supposed to do. But I do think that if we have the opportunity to express a little more control in our environment, we will unconsciously take it because we feel, many of us, out of control in our internal world. And I think this is a good time to just check in on that point. If we have little kids and we're constantly telling them what to do and how to show up and how to behave and how to act and this and that, because I do think that allowing a child to just be can be really triggering for an individual who feels a little out of control internally. And, that's not a criticism, but I think it's a really good point of reflection.
It's an observation.
I think it's a good observation. And I think that there is a lot of truth to that. Letting a child just be and grow on their own. I mean, Ilya, I think, has had a really good opportunity to do that. And I'm really blown away at how much empathy is shining through for them. They love sharing food. They love cuddling. They love kissing. If someone's crying, they try to comfort them. It's very clear in their own ways that they try to communicate and connect in the ways that make sense to them. And they're very, very kind. Very kind. I mean, any stranger that they go up to is excited to have them in their space because Ilya is like present and kind. I think that's so natural for young ones. They don't need to say these weird kind of things that don't necessarily have anything to do with how they're feeling in order to make that connection.
And I love that when I observe Ilya connect with a new being, I feel that new being feels delighted and cared for by them. It's not, like you said, they're not looking for like, oh, they didn't say hi or please or thank you. They're feeling that beautiful, pure essence of Ilya, and I think it connects deeply with the beautiful, pure essence of themselves. And I think that's one of the reasons in our culture, children evoke such emotion and love within us, because we feel that connection and that we are the same there. And it's so beautiful to see all the things that Ilya does that maybe people would want to teach their children that just happen naturally. Like kisses, for example. We all love kissing each other, and we love kissing Ilya, and they love kissing us. It's not like I have to say like, give me a kiss, right, or like say this, say that. Another fun thing is like saying hi or bye. Ilya's been doing this fun thing recently where they'll like walk out of the room and then walk back in, and I noticed I was just naturally being like, hi, bye, hi, and they like it. They like to kind of like see what happens, and now I notice they say hi a lot or hello. And just like, I didn't teach them that, they learned that.
And come to think of it, I mean, I love saying thank you. That's one of the best phrases I can think of. So I say thank you to Ilya all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I don't need to teach Ilya that thing exists or where it's coming from the heart, because they get to experience it. I'm not sure I say please as much, but I mean, I kind of like the word please. It's nice and gentle and can be sweet. And so, yeah, I mean, otherwise we're just kind of like teaching these kind of random phrases
that are disconnected.
And it's just like what we do all the time out in the world. How you doing? Good. How you doing? Good. I mean, that's fine, but that's not really an interaction. I mean, you might as well just be saying you're just acknowledging each other. You're not actually asking how are you doing. But wouldn't it be cool if when someone asked you how are you doing, that they really meant how are you doing?
We do that. I feel like there are more beings doing that,
I
which is so
totally
cool.
agree. Yeah. But it's just one of those things that we see and we just start like, oh, we just take it in. And I don't think that that's our natural sort of way to interact, to just have these sort of empty interactions and empty phrases. And when please and thank you is empty, what's the point? Do you really want like a thank you that is meaningless for the person? Then it's just like, it's just words. It's just hollow words.
Yeah. So asking having it be important to have a well-mannered child feels kind of similar to like having it be important to, I don't know, it's just like some grading system that I don't feel connected with. I feel like what feels important to me is that Illy gets to preserve their natural, innate, just beauty as a human. And
isn't stifled along that process. And is really encouraged. And I think that this has to do with unconditional love, which is like, it doesn't matter if you say please and thank you. You are loved 100%
right. There's no
regardless.
Punishment or reward based on how that they're showing up.
And not that other people are saying, I'm not going to love you unless you say please and thank you. I don't think that is true at all. But I do see it as like, this makes you good.
Yeah.
And not doing it, well, what then? And that I think resides in the heart as a question mark, and maybe gets filled in with, well, it means that I'm bad. And then you get ranked. Internally, you create this idea of behavior that's good, behavior that's bad. And this means I'm good, and this means I'm bad.
And right and wrong, which I think also like doesn't give a lot of space for everybody's experience. There could be so many ways to express gratitude, and if we just have this like programmed response, that's really what say please and thank you is teaching. It's teaching to program a response, which doesn't give space for the uniqueness of what we might be feeling, which a lot of the time, like if I'm sharing like banana ice cream with Illy, their response is and then they feed me. That's so much better. I love that so much more than thank you.
Yeah.
I feel so much more delighted by that. They feel so much more delighted by that.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. And just like the other example, how are you? That's just, imagine if that were not part of just what we did, and we would have infinite ways of interacting and acknowledging one another than just like, how are you? Good. How are you? Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love just like the energetic exchange of all this that we're talking about and how important it is. For example, in that case, like being able to really look at somebody when you're passing each other. And if a how are you comes out, great. But maybe what comes out like a lot for me is just like, hi.
That's true.
I really love it's like, hi. Like, yeah, just get to like be so delighted to see another human and just share love with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel fired up and excited and passionate about this topic. I think authenticity is probably like one of the highest things because it relates so much to unconditional love, encouraging authenticity in our child or in one another.
Yes.
And saying, I encourage your authenticity and I'm going to love you. That is, to me, unconditional love. And so that sort of trumps everything else. It's just like the most important thing to me in the universe. And so I do feel very passionate about these little things like please and thank yous or manners or whatever. And And I also don't want anyone to feel like I'm bashing them. I'm just excited about the topic. You know, I like everyone I know. There are very, very few people I know with children that don't do the please and thank yous thing. So it's not like uncommon, and I get that. You know, it's like it's just a very, 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 very common thing. And I think most important is not to say stop doing that, because I don't feel that way. I actually feel like here's how I feel about it, and that could be a good just like maybe offer a different perspective for you to think about. Not even to necessarily apply to please and thank yous, but just to apply to your own life and your interpersonal relationship with other human beings. Because I love you, and I want you to feel loved and
connected. I want to feel connected with you.
Mm-hmm. And not like this is right and this is wrong.
Yeah, what you're doing, I think, is really important, and I think I know that's how I always feel, is that we have the best answers for ourselves and for the humans that we're closest to within, and we can tap into them by tapping into that innate wisdom within us and love-filled space. And I love how so much of this goes back to really trusting that we are good at our core, and the way we would naturally show up is so good. And I believe that about you. And I believe that all the reasons that you're doing things, or all the intentions, are there for you to look at and understand. And we're just offering another thing that we've found that feels real for us. We're excited about it.
Yeah, and so we get to talk about it in this like fun, and for me, a playful way.
Yeah.
So hope it's felt that way.
Yeah, I know, and we love you so much, and really trust that like you're doing it right. And I feel that way too when my friends tell their kids to like say please, say thank you, say hi, say bye. I love them all the same. I don't feel like it's changing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and we all get to learn together. You know, we all are processing and changing and growing and all the time. So it's not like
a hierarchy.
Any of us has all the answers and
No.
You know, we're just experimenting and trying all this stuff out. We're all great. We're just
great. This is for fun. We're just learning and growing here, and here's a piece of that for your whatever day morning.
Yeah, that's it. I love you.
I love you. Thanks for this. I love caring for Ilya with you and learning about ourselves and the world together.
Can I please have another kiss?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That felt so good for me. You champion. You're such a champion.
Love you guys.
Love you.
See ya.
Bye.